Hello, boys and girls. We're going to continue animating our snowman. So in the last one, he went to the concert, and now I want it to switch to the baseball field. So it switched to the baseball field, and it lands here. So then I have to once again move him to where I want him to be, and then tell it to go to that position. But I want him, he's kind of facing the wrong direction here. So there is another piece of code called point in the direction. So right now he is pointing in the direction of 90. So if I come over here and click in the point in the direction of 90, and I click this little button right here, this will make it so that he'll stay, won't turn upside down. So you want to make sure you click this little button, and then I'm going to say turn in the direction of negative 90. So that's opposite. So now when I do this, he turns the opposite direction. That only works if you turn it so it doesn't turn upside down like this. So now I'm going to say point in the direction of negative 90. Now if I do that, then at the very beginning, I'm going to want to put point in the direction of 90 up here at the top, so that way he'll be in the direction that I want him to at the beginning. So now, and then I'm going to see if he can run the bases. So once again, I'm going to go to my glides, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to add a glide to that new position. And then glide, and then he's going to go here, and then here, and I think I'm going to maybe switch his direction again. So now I'm going to say point in the direction of 90, and then I'm going to go here. So now it looks like he would, so I'm just going to try this piece of code. So I missed this spot right here, so I want to come back, put it here, and then I'm going to glide to that position. So, and if you did that kind of mistake like I did, you can always debug. And do you see how I pulled it away? So I can test the code without running all the rest of the code and just see how this one works. Yeah, so now, and then afterwards I could say that he is, now have him say something. Say, I made a home run. And now I'm going to do that same thing, and I'm going to say switch the backdrop now this time to space. Now, if here on baseball, if I wanted to have someone else add another sprite, so let's add another sprite right now. So I'm going to add another sprite, and I want it to just show up on the baseball field. So I'm going to add a baseball. So there's the baseball. And maybe I'm just going to have it kind of there. So when I see the baseball, the first thing I want to do, there's two things. I'm going to do my flag, and I'm going to give it a starting position. That's always a good habit to go into. And now when it is here, because I don't want it to be at the very beginning, I'm going to use some code called hide and show. So I'm going to say hide. But now there's a new event. My new event is called this, when the backdrop switches. So when the backdrop switches to baseball, I want it to show up. So that way we can see it only when it's on this baseball page. So I say show up, and now once I'm here, then I can have it do some kind of motion. So I'm going to have it just turn in circles, and maybe just for the fun of it, let's have it say we're going to just change the color. So now I'm just going to tell this to do this forever. And once it does this forever, but it's not really, we're not going to see it do it forever. So now if I click this, you'll see that the baseball would show up. Now let me just come back over here for a second. Let me break this for just a second. Okay, and let's just say let's move it, let's get it back to the Arctic for just a second. And now I'm going to say, okay, so now I'm going to say switch to the baseball. Okay, so now when I do this, you'll see that the baseball's doing its little thing and the snowman's running. It says I made a home run. And now, but you see the baseball's still in space. So now there's one other piece of code here. So now I'm going to use that same event again. I'm going to say when I switch backdrops to space, then it is going to hide again. So this is how you would add other characters in each of the different backgrounds. So you could have, so now when the backdrop switches to space, it's gone. And so then you can have the snowman do something here and maybe something else shows up. And so this is kind of how you would code another sprite to join the snowman on his adventure. Have fun.